Hello and welcome to Horror Cult Trash Over, the show that discusses all the masterpieces and trash the pieces of genre cinema. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
Christopher, dear, love of my life.
Yes.
You okay, hon?
Not after watching this shit. Awful.
Okay, so we can't really agree on as to whether this is entertaining or not, but we can agree on one thing: it is not a good film by any means.
It's not.
We're about to talk about a film about a group of friends that go to a cabin, and one of them reads out something in Latin, and they all get taken over by demons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not talking about Evil Dead.
No.
We are talking about 1990s Demon Wind, directed by Charles Philip Moore. Now, I do have a bit of a background with this film. When I was about 13, 13, around that age, I was moving house and I'm not very good with change, so I clung onto the horror channel. There's one connection between the two houses that, they had in common. Probably a bit too young too, but I mean, they had the kids stuff on as well in the daytime. But the trailer kept coming on for Demon Wind, and I was obsessed with this trailer. It looked so schlocky. It looked great, and it was kind of scary to me when I was a kid. And when I watched it, my mind was blown. It was just over the top, and I seem to remember it being a lot better than it actually is. Watching it now as a 27-year-old, oh boy, this is a bit messy.
I have no connection to this film. I watched it for the first time today, and I will never watch it again.
It has a budget of $500,000. Where do you think that went?
Who the fuck knows?
It probably went on
Definitely not on a fucking script.
It probably went on Lou Diamond Phillips' cameo.
Oh, not on a plot.
This is banned in Germany.
Banned? It should be banned everywhere. I'm sorry, I thought this was terrible. Really terrible.
Well, it wasn't as bad as Home Sweet Home, was it?
Oh, no. Very close, though. Very close.
Well, yeah, as I mentioned, Lou Diamond Phillips has a cameo in this film because he was married to an assistant director. He plays one of the demons.
He's a famous name, but I don't know what he's famous for.
He was in La Bamba. Or he made La Bamba, one of the two.
Yes, he was. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we are.
He's very, very famous. Not as famous as another star that was in this film by the name of Tiffany Million. Now, I've made a list of some films she was in that I'd like to read out because she's been in some rather interesting films. She plays a beautiful demon in this film, resembles Debbie Harry a bit.
She does look like Debbie Harry.
She sounds like Debbie Harry as well when she talks.
She does a little bit.
She has been in the likes of Temple of Poon, The Anal Adventures of Bruce Seven, Deep Inside Tiffany Million, The Ring of Desire, I wonder what ring that was, Generally Horny Hospital, The Triple X Files, Lust in Space, Titty Bar 2, Backdoor Mistress, and my personal favourite, Jailhouse Cock. So, if you haven't gathered, Tiffany Million, or as she's known in the cast of this film, Sandra Margot, is a porn star. And the editor of this film really encouraged director Charles Philip Moore to get her in the film. Yes. Best actress in the film?
Oh, by far. The work speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll cover Jailhouse Cock on here soon. But the director, Charles Philip Moore, he's actually made some interesting films himself. He's made, after this, he went on to make Angel of Destruction, Black Bout, and Dance with Death. All of which look horrendous.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any of them.
Oh, yeah, I might have to give those a watch. Now, there's not much trivia on this film, apart from everything I've just read out to you, but the last notable thing is that it was apparently a difficult shoot because the director would only let them shoot the film when the weather matched what he wanted. So the fog you see in the film is real fog.
No, it's not.
Have a look on IMDb.
That's not
Apparently
true.
to IMDb, the fog is real fog. So that sequence where they're running around in fog for like 5 minutes... It was real.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Was there really
But he couldn't afford a smoke machine,
what?
you know?
Come on. Can't be that expensive.
On the first day, the cast and crew shot for 7 hours, then they realised it was a bad film.
Any good wedding DJ has a fog machine. Come on.
Well, the cast and crew shot for 7 hours on the first day, then they realised it was a bad film.
Well, it felt like fucking 7 hours watching
They had to do 2 hours of reshoots, but all in all, it took them 24 days to film it.
Oh, I don't... yeah.
Should we get on with it?
Yeah, please.
So, the plot is, with the need to investigate a mysterious death of his grandparents... well, that's not really true, is it? He was investigating his dad's death.
Really?
But, yeah. Corey and his friends assemble back to the old farm where it all began. And then we get to start the film, we get a big title card with the sound of wind.
Yes, big old title card. Demon Wind.
And then we're showing someone burning on a cross in 1931. We're giving some church music. And we get a pan around a room with lots of religious materials.
Yeah.
It's quite a cold open. I mean, it's kind of like you get this imagery straight away. And I think this is probably what scared me the most when I first watched it. It's like the first thing you see is someone burning on a cross. And then all this religious stuff. It's
and there's some hymn playing about... washing in the blood of the lamb or something like that, and dinner's getting cold on the table.
Table set up for dinner with some candles, wine and a turkey.
I thought it was a Christmas opener. I thought the hymn was like a Christmas carol.
Maybe.
It sounded similar to one, and then there was a turkey on the table. There was no Christmas decorations or anything.
We're not due to start our Christmas films till next week.
I was gonna say, I did think we were a bit early for the Christmas. It wasn't. It just happened to be a turkey on the table, and the hymn was just something about lambs and blood and God and something like that.
And then we get Budget Sigourney Weaver, who is scared of the wind. She's terrified of the wind, and she's hearing demon voices.
She got scratched down her back as well, and there's a little pentagram on the floor, isn't there? So we're getting an idea that something's up.
Yeah, her husband turns up, and he must have had a bit of that dinner because he started throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, a bit of porridge.
Bit of porridge coming out of his mouth.
Like porridge.
Oh, bread sauce. A bit of cranberry sauce in it as well. So maybe it was Christmas.
Maybe.
And then he turns into a demon. And do you know what the practical effects in this film have a certain charm to them?
They are not terrible.
They have a certain charm to them that I love effects like this in films like Evil Dead and Demons
but
and such.
It's very much a rip-off of the look
of Demons,
which is a far superior film.
This is basically Demons set in the cabin of Evil Dead.
Exactly, yeah.
But I love practical effects like this, and stuff like that did scare me when I was younger. I mean, now I just admire it. But, so he turns to Budget Sigourney, and he's like, and now, my pig, you die. That was very rude, I thought. But, the demon voices in this film are so over-edited that sometimes you can't even understand what they're saying.
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
And it's very much that, again, Evil Dead style of demon voice where, it's just... I'm not even going to attempt to
the voice is a total rip-off of Evil Dead, but it is, like you said, so over-edited that for a lot of the film I don't really understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
But... yeah, there's some things about your spells can't keep us out, so...
yeah, Budget Sigourney drops a snow globe.
She does.
And then the cabin explodes.
And a real big explosion as well.
Like a jarring, massive action film explosion.
Yeah, it's like when the Death Star explodes in Star Wars. It's that kind of explosion, so you assume that everything's been completely demolished.
And then we get...
what I didn't understand, and you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout this, and what I didn't understand is that he tells her she's going to die, so then bites her in the neck, snow globe drops, and then there's a massive explosion. Why didn't you just have the massive explosion?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just say, oh, and now you're going to get blown up? There we go.
Yeah, the explosion's very random. That's probably where the $500,000 budget went.
Yeah.
Because there's not just... No, actually, no. The explosion at the end of the film is definitely that same explosion.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Sorry.
2 explosion film.
We
we
flash forward to present day, and we meet our hero, Corey. He's just thinking about driving, apparently. Yes. And his girlfriend We don't find out her name until an hour and 34 minutes into the film.
I literally have her written down as blonde.
Yeah, 4 minutes before the film ends, you find out her name. We'll give you a spoiler. Her name's Elaine. But we don't find it out until 4 minutes before the end of the film, and that is so frustrating throughout. So I've just got it down as Corey's girlfriend.
Yeah, I just put blonde.
So
She's the only blonde one. So
yeah,
fit.
we get a flashback to Corey and his old drunk dad, in a really pointless flashback, just so we know that his dad was an alcoholic, and also has the same religious stuff around his house as that cabin.
He didn't have a glass of wine in his hand though.
No.
Just recently, every film we watch featuring an alcoholic has glasses and glasses of
Well, there was
wine.
bottles of wine at the start of the film.
Was there?
Yeah, on a table.
Oh, but untouched.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she thought, the wind was coming to kill her, so she probably was a bit drunk. And then, we get some of this weird conversation between Elaine and Corey that's just goes nowhere.
Yeah, she's feeling neglected. He went to visit his dad, hadn't seen him in a while. His dad was an alcoholic, and he's been very distant from her ever since.
Yeah, and then the soundtrack kicks in, and again, our Christmas decorations are falling down.
It's that demon wind.
The soundtrack to this film is actually really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little...
Good for you.
Did you not enjoy the score?
No, it sounds like every other horror film from the time, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not
I have a weakness for that.
Is it?
No, but that's why I
None
liked
of this is new.
No. But we get pop sensation Jess Glynn before her famous days. She points a stick at the car.
It's a little girl that's watching the car as it goes past, and she does look like UK pop sensation Jess Glynn. And she's pointing a stick at the car for some reason. Yeah, just
goes nowhere.
Well, yeah, and another spoiler: you don't actually see her again till the end.
Till the last few seconds of the film.
So yeah,
and even then, she doesn't do fucking anything.
So you might as well just, if you don't know who Jess Glynn is, I don't know if she's made it in America, but yeah, just give her a Google. It's just.
Well, they pull up to a petrol station, and the soundtrack it turns to a guitar. At this stage, like in Batman vs Superman when Wonder Woman appears, we get a guitar playing just as he's pulling up to a petrol station, and Corey says he's been there before, and then we get to see one of his dreams.
We do.
What happens in this dream?
What happens in this dream is that he's got no clothes on.
Got his ass out.
We get a nice little pan up his body to show that he's got no clothes on. Got his butt out. And he's at this gas station, and this woman comes out, and it's his grandmother.
It's Budget Sigourney.
Budget Sigourney comes out.
She's a demon now.
And she's a demon. She's like, "Hi, Corey."
And then he just screams. And then the petrol station guy is my favourite character. He... I've got a few favourite characters in this, actually, but he's one of them. He's up there. He comes out with his shitty grey eyebrows.
Oh, he's got some meaty eyebrows. I mean, I'm not one to judge. Mine are fairly meaty, but bloody hell, you could plait his.
And he basically tells them to fuck off. They're like, how do we get to the Carter farm from here? And it's like, you can't. There's no such place. And then when it says that on my map, it's like, no, your map's full of shit. Get out of here. And he's that guy from every horror film.
You can't. Get out of here.
He's that guy from every horror film that tells them not to go up there. It's cursed. He's got a death curse.
It's got a death curse.
They ignore him. He walks away, and they walk into the cafe that's attached to the gas station.
Yeah.
And then Elaine gets her ass out, and she's got some fancy knickers on, ain't she?
She's got some lovely knickers on.
Were they Playboy?
Oh, they may have been.
I think they had the bunny on them.
No, I think they had a rose on them.
Oh.
Or some lovely lacy lingerie.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, Corey."
To lighten the mood.
Yeah, she's like, "Look at this."
As you do. I'm sure we've both been known to get our knickers out to lighten the mood.
Well,
at a funeral or
like in a deserted cafe,
hospital,
where this the one worker in there, she's the only worker in the cafe. She walks out, and she's like, if you're looking for the toilet, it's out back. Okay, no, Elaine wasn't going to have a shit on the floor. She was just trying to turn her boyfriend on.
Elaine is a classy lady.
I know, yeah, she wouldn't shit on the floor. But anyway, so they go and approach this worker.
I had her down as poor man's Ronnie Blakely.
Yeah, I can
She
see
had
that.
that sort of distant look that Ronnie Blakely has throughout Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Well, she informs them that they have beer, Coke, water, and goat's milk.
Oh, lovely.
So they order a drink, and then she doesn't give them a drink. Instead, she stands there and she talks about little Linda for so fucking long. She's like, are you little Linda's friends?
Yeah.
Little Linda, little Linda, little Linda. She keeps saying little Linda.
She just starts giving out the whole village gossip to them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we have no idea who you're talking about.
So, yeah, okay, so anyway, but then we get a fucking homophobic piece of shit turn up. He is the most unlikable character in this film.
I think he turns over a new leaf by the end.
But randomly, it's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nothing redeems him.
No.
His name is Dal, and he turns up, he snogs Elaine, like proper full on, makes out of her.
Yeah.
Tells her she's good enough to eat, does a fucking weird handshake with Corey, starts to slag off his girlfriend because she wanted to stop on the way to buy some clothes. She's like, you know what women are like. And then they start kissing, and it is fucking disgusting. His tongue is going right in there. I feel sorry for the lady who played his girlfriend. But her name's Terry, by the way. And then 80s Queen Bonnie arrives, serving up the best outfit in the film.
So this is another couple.
Yeah.
Bonnie, she's got hair in a scrunchie.
Yeah, she looks like the representation of the 80s.
She's got a hot pink jumper on. Did she have leg warmers?
I think so.
I feel she looked
her
like
jumper's
she
so far
should
down.
have had leg warmers.
Yeah. Her jumper's so far down, you can see her bra straps.
Yeah, and some bright pink earrings on, isn't she?
Yes, and then her and Elaine do these shitty British accents where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you look marvellous. Oh, you
hello,
look simply
darling."
divine. And then...
They kind of do the accent people think that I make on this podcast.
no, it was definitely your accent.
My
it was
telephone voice.
It was like an impression of you.
Oh, God. My telephone voice.
So after Elaine and Bonnie pretend to be Chris, Dale spots Corey and Bonnie's boyfriend Jack having a hug, and he calls them homos.
Yeah.
So,
Lovely.
yeah, Elaine then starts telling everyone.
Two bros chilling in a hot tub, 5 feet apart because they're not gay.
So anyway.
Well, it's that mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, give someone a hug. Oh, you're gay.
So Elaine tells everyone that Dale's got a small dick, giving us the impression that she slept with him. Are they in an open relationship?
The friendship group is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Full-on snogs aren't frowned upon. Willy talk isn't frowned upon.
No.
Talking about each other's bits. Yeah, it's
Well,
a weird one.
they all sit down for a drink at the cafe. Then Corey brightens the mood and tells everyone that his dad killed himself. Reveals that the people at the start are his grandparents, and that's why they're going up to this farm to do some investigating.
I don't understand why he brought his friends along.
By the end of this film, we're introduced to 8 of his friends.
Yeah.
Why couldn't just him and Elaine go there?
Just him and Elaine.
Yeah. Why did he have to invite 8 fucking friends to go and look at this cabin with him?
Yeah, I don't get it. Because there's nowhere for them to sleep
No,
anyway.
it's not like it was going to be a fun weekend.
No.
He just went to have a look at the cabin.
Yeah.
So,
Just a small group of friends. You know, the original Evil Dead, they were just going for the cabin for a bit of fun. But then... Original. As if this is a remake. But then you have, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's just like a group of friends going to invest. That's fine. Not 8 of the fuckers.
no. Well...
I don't even have that many friends. I wouldn't even know who to invite.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I know. I do. I'm very popular.
Anyway, so the Silver Daddy Petrol guy with the eyebrows.
Ew, don't say silver daddy.
With the eyebrows turns up and he's like, take your friends and go home. And Dale starts being a prick to him. So he pulls a gun out and it was like, yes, finally. But the gun's not loaded. Everyone leaves. And it's just Corey and Eyebrows. And they start having a conversation where Eyebrows gives us a full backstory. Says it all happened in 1929, which is bullshit, because it says the start of the film's in 1931.
Yeah, that was weird.
Apparently he saw what happened, and then he's like, "You gotta get out of here, go home." And then Corey's like, "No, we really want to go." He's like, "Okay, well, if you want to go, it's just down the road from here, but don't go." And like, well, you've just told him where to go.
Yeah.
So they walk out, they're all friends now. And then the actual best characters of this film arrive. The inspiration, clearly, for Sam and Dean from Supernatural, because they look exactly like them. Chuck and Stacy, two very bright magicians, arrive.
Very bright magicians.
Terry reveals that Chuck is actually her ex.
Yeah.
Chuck looks like the 90s equivalent to Sean William Scott, but with longer hair.
And a massive forehead.
A massive forehead. They drive down. He's hanging out of the car. They're playing some fancy music. What is that music from?
It was bugging me. It's clearly some royalty-free classical music.
Yeah.
I really... No, I'm not going to say it because I'll only get it wrong. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they turn up in this car, this convertible. Chuck's hanging out of it. And then they drive up to Terry, and he's like, "A princess should always have flowers," and he makes a pair of flowers disappear. A bunch of flowers.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
very nice of him. It's very kind.
And then, in a rather bizarre move, Dal throws a can at Chuck, and then Chuck does a 5-minute karate trick.
This goes on for so
where you
long.
just see the can in the air, and him just throwing his legs around. I don't know what's going. It's so weirdly edited, and the result of it is he kicks the can into Dal's face.
Yeah.
So and then Dal calls him a homophobic slur because he's Dal and he's an arsehole. Stacy makes a rabbit appear. It all happens so fast. Chuck lets out a bird, says Shazam, and the bird takes a shit on Dal.
Yeah.
All within the space of about a minute.
So we're introduced to Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
And, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Yeah, so they all drive up to the site of the incident. The magicians have a costume change.
Yeah, I don't know how they changed their costume in the car whilst driving.
Yeah, we also see an egg hatch whilst they're on the way with worms in it.
Yeah, a little bit of foreboding there. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? No, nothing to do with birds' eggs hatching worms again, but, you know.
No, and the film's an hour and 40 minutes. Why did that need to be in there?
No.
A lot of this just didn't need to be there.
Well, just Glyn was unnecessary.
Well...
the bird hatching was unnecessary. The beer can being in the air for 5 minutes was unnecessary.
When they run around in fog for 5 minutes, that's unnecessary. The whole William Rayner, the characters introduced later, them turning up was the most pointless thing in the whole film.
And only added to my list of questions. But we'll get on to that.
They find the remains of the barn. Not the barn. Well, the barn is later on. They find the remains of the cabin that exploded at the start of the film and the cross with the skeleton on it. Yeah, the magicians have a costume change, and then Bonnie, our 80s queen, falls over and finds a skull. But there's no reason to why she fell over.
No, she just sort of like, ooh. That was it.
Yeah.
Fell over.
Then Corey...
I know some people who just fall over randomly.
Go fuck yourself. Corey goes to touch the skull, and a digital lightning effect. Now, whilst the practical effects in this film aren't bad, the digital effects in this film, whew.
I suppose it's 1990 though, isn't it? You're not really going to get...
This was after the likes of The Empire Strikes Back was made.
Yeah.
And whilst this doesn't have that budget,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make digital effects look like this, just don't do it. It's awful.
Well, it's very Hellraiser, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the end of Hellraiser.
Yeah.
So so the digital effect gives Corey a flashback as to where he remembers his brother, who has a mullet. Or was it his dad's brother? His dad's brother.
So his uncle.
Yeah,
that we had absolutely no mention of before.
Yeah, he has a mullet.
And if I remember correctly, really no mention of afterwards.
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so he's got this mullet and he spits blood and then dies. And Corey reckons that means that's his skull, half buried.
Well, Corey becomes an expert on skeletons and who they belong to, all of a sudden.
Okay, so all this happened in 1931, yeah? This film's set in 1990, present day.
Mm-hmm.
All this is going on. So in the, how many years? 59 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, my maths is correct. So in the 59 years between this cabin exploding and this film, the setting, these guys getting there, that this skull has just been left half buried.
Skeleton on a cross.
And the skeleton on the cross is still there.
No one's drove past there in all those years.
No one's gone anywhere near. No one's done anything to it. No one investigated this massive explosion. No one called the police when these people turned up missing, because Corey's dad was in the hospital at the time. He was a very young child, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So
He'd just been born.
He'd just been born, which I don't know why he was in the hospital yet the mum wasn't. Okay, and then she's like completely just like, I'm just gonna go home now. You can look after him for a while. I don't think that's.
I've got dinner to cook. Can you just look after the baby for a bit?
Now I've got some demons to fight off. But yeah, so this baby's in the hospital. So when nobody turns up to collect this baby from the hospital, did they not think to go investigate? Be like, someone really needs.
Maybe we should go to their address.
No one went to the lost property to find it. So yeah, first real question I have is, why has this place been left untouched for so long?
Well, one thing's for sure about the place. According to Chuck, he's not sure what happened there, but you can sure tell the death has walked through there. Wonder what made him think that.
I know.
Do you think it might have been the skeleton on the cross that made him think that?
Potentially.
Well, we then find out that if you walk through the doors of this, the ruins of this cabin, you end up in the actual rebuilt cabin, which
magic.
is never explained. Never explained.
It's demon magic, isn't it?
They investigate. The turkey's still there.
Turkey is still there.
Yeah.
Must be really fucking cold now.
Corey finds another corpse and gives his analysis. He finds a broken necklace, and it apparently reads on there that that's his grandmother. Well, no, there's not enough room on there to read the line that he read out. And he was like, yeah, this is my grandmother. Oh, nice to see her. Looks a bit burnt. Hasn't got much skin on her. So there's some writing on the wall.
More skin on the turkey.
There's some Latin on the wall. Yeah, how did the turkey survive and she didn't? The explosion.
Yeah.
That must have been a fucking good turkey.
That's really good turkey.
So there's some Latin on the wall, and Bonnie has to be that person, starts reading it out. Oh dear. And then the cabin comes to life, a la Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly taken from Evil Dead 2.
Oh fuck's sake, yeah.
Cabin comes alive, turkey explodes at last, and a knife is thrown at Corey, so like, yeah, we should probably leave. And then, all of a sudden, the magicians have guns.
Yeah, I don't know where they got all these guns from. And of all the characters to have guns, they weren't really the ones I thought would.
Well, they did make a rabbit appear out of nowhere and a bird, so
Yeah,
maybe they did the same
I'm
with
not
guns.
going to make a shotgun appear out of nowhere.
And all the ammo for it as well.
Yeah. I was thinking of all the people to have a gun, it would be the douchebag, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like Dell. But no. Apparently it's supernatural dudes.
Yeah, so then the batteries die.
Yeah, so in a real horror cliche, obviously the cars don't work. All the batteries are dead. So they can't drive off. So they decide to walk, don't they?
Yes, yeah. Bonnie is all of a sudden an expert on demonic possession. And then she says to Jack, if we, being the key word, if we die here, please don't bury me here. What do you mean if we die here? If you both die, then no shit, he's not going to bury you there because he'll be fucking dead.
And obviously no one goes to visit, so they're going to be there for another 59 years.
And so what if she's buried there? What difference does that make? It's not fucking Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. So then they go for their walk, and this is when the fog attacks them for far too long. It's honestly about 5 minutes, and I'm like, it's fog! And they turn around, walk away. It's fog! And then literally there's one point where Elaine's like, oh, fuck's sake, this fog's back again. And then...
You're joking.
It takes them back to the cabin, saves them walking back, and then 3 girls appear.
But isn't that at a cemetery? I was a little confused by this part as well. Because I thought they were at a cemetery.
Yeah, it's at Pet Cemetery.
When the girls were there. So the 3 girls appear in, like, Victorian clothing.
Yeah.
And that's when they're back at the cabin. But I didn't think there was, like, gravestones near the cabin.
No, and that's not really shown again either.
No.
Well, the 3 girls do exactly what everyone wanted to do. Dal walks up to them and is like, hey, little girls, and they just throw him.
Yeah.
So, yes.
She does
Bonnie reacts to this in a rather peculiar way. She runs up to one of them, she's like, ah! She just starts screaming in the face. And then, obviously the little girl's pissed off with this. Like, they're just minding their own business. So they turn her into a doll. The doll matches her outfit and her hair. The doll says, you lied, and explodes.
Yeah, I don't understand who lied.
But no one gives a shit.
They really were not affected by this at all.
In fact, Corey turns around and says, I think they're trying to warn us away. Oh, really? What makes you think that?
This body, seemingly she's dead because she turned into a doll, and the doll explodes like everything else in this film. And everyone's just, oh no. They just carry on.
But no one even says, oh no, they don't care. They literally don't acknowledge it.
No,
walk
her
away.
boyfriend's a little upset. He's a smidge for
probably about a second.
Yeah.
He looks a little shocked, and that's it. They move on. They talk normally. There's nothing there. I kind of feel like this film, it's an all-white cast. I kind of feel like this film was made to showcase dumb white people in horror films. This is all the tropes.
I feel that with this film, you could have tweaked it ever so slightly and made it into a parody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's what they were going
No,
for.
they were trying to make a serious horror
But
film.
I feel like when we do the remake, if we just do a few tweaks, we could make it into a really good parody.
Are we making a remake?
No, we're not. Of course not.
Stay tuned for our remake of Demon Wind.
Yeah.
I'm going to play Bonnie.
First one gone.
Well, not in our remake.
No.
She's going to be the final girl.
Oh, God.
So, Dal punches Chuck.
Yeah, so they're arguing.
And they all decide to stay in the cabin. Corey goes on an adventure and finds...
Corey says, I think everything is okay now.
Yeah.
Let's clean up.
Poor Bonnie.
Your friend's dead. Your friend's dead.
How can they forget someone with such an amazing outfit and hair? She's the most memorable character. So, Corey goes on an adventure. He finds his grandmother's diary. Starts reading it out loud, because, plot purposes. And for his audience members. We're not capable of reading, apparently. Elaine walks in, it's like, oh, you sure know how to treat a woman.
Oh my god, what a weird weekend. You sure know how to
What a
treat...
strange weekend.
You sure
Bonnie.
know how to show a girl a good time.
Bonnie.
Your friend's dead. Your friend is dead.
So then they both
And you
start
haven't
reading
actually left the cabin. You're not too far away from where she died.
it. Yeah.
Why are you acting as if everything's alright? You just
Well,
could stay the night and
There's
then go.
one shot shortly after this where Chuck's still doing fucking magic tricks in the background. So they read the diary out some more. It's got instructions on how to kill the son of Satan. You know,
Oh, I switched off a little when.
what happened to writing recipes in a book. Instructions on how to kill the son of Satan. Corey and who is still his unnamed girlfriend, Elaine, at this point. They find some demon daggers.
Demon daggers that his grandmother didn't use.
Yeah. Well, no, because these demon daggers disappear when you use them.
Wow, so do you think she had a lot?
Yeah,
She
maybe.
just had an array of daggers.
She had a whole supply of them.
And she only had 2 left.
Well, then Corey bores everyone and tells them the entire story from the diary. Some of it is like, okay, this is really specific. How the fuck did his grandmother know all of this? The fire goes out, and then there's an abrupt cut to Chuck and Stacy's bedroom. And this scene is so fucking entertaining. It's amazing. It's cheesy gold. It is just them talking shit for about 5 minutes. I honestly want you to name a more iconic duo than Chuck and Stacy, because I can't think of one.
Yeah, they were just talking crap, weren't they?
They said they're going to kick some supernatural ass, which is obviously where Supernatural got it from.
Yeah,
And modelled their characters
Sign
after
of things to come.
Chuck and
The
Stacy.
influence of this film is incredible.
Stacy says he wishes he had some grenades. Then they said that they're going to go stay in Las Vegas because there's no demons there.
Yeah,
No spiritual people there.
I ain't gonna lie, I switched off a little whilst they were talking. I'm assuming
Oh, that's the best scene.
they were talking about vacations they're gonna take when it's all blown over.
Well, they're rudely interrupted by the star of Jailhouse Cock, Tiffany Million. Our queen shows up with her tits out, and she's like, "Come outside and play with me."
Yeah, she goes on for a while, don't
Yeah,
she?
come
She's like,
on,
come
come
see
give me a go. Come
Ooh.
outside.
Come on, fellas.
And the magicians are like, at the exact same time, demon. Like they know they'd never have a chance with Tiffany Million. They automatically know, and I completely respect them for that. The most realistic bit of dialogue in this entire film. So they go outside to fight, and Chuck is like, "Oh, they're playing our song." All I could hear was demons going, "Yeah."
Yeah, I didn't actually hear a song.
Yeah, and then Stacey says the iconic line, which was always in the trailer on Horror Channel. It's like, "All right, let's dance."
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
So they approach Tiffany outside, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? Why'd you bring us out here?" And she's like, "Hello, boys." And she turns to a demon.
Yeah,
Floating.
she's a proper floaty demon now.
And-
She's the only one that I see floating throughout
Yeah.
the whole film.
Well, Chuck says, "Eat this," shoots her, and she bleeds yellow blood, as do all the other demons.
Yellow? It was a little snotty, I thought.
Well, yeah, it's yellow.
Okay.
Well, you say the blood did not look yellow.
Okay, it looked yellow, but it looked green as well. A little snotty.
It did look like normal blood, basically. Then the demons come from every corner.
Yeah, so they start circling our two heroes.
Yeah, they do some back-to-back shooting.
Yeah. The shorter one, unfortunately, gets his throat slit.
Yes. And they're pulling some amazing faces when they're doing the shooting.
Don't know how, though. We didn't see a demon go
No,
near
I know.
him.
Yeah, it's a bit all confusing. Somehow he gets killed. Chuck runs away. Roundhouse kicks a fucking demon's head off.
That was... Okay.
Most iconic scene
Yeah.
in horror history.
You don't half over-exaggerate.
Well, I'm sorry, it was iconic.
It was very much Pamela Voorhees, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great decapitation. I just can't get over it. It was amazing. And then just when you think Chuck survives, a demon pops up behind him and is like, surprise! In fact, the demons say surprise quite a lot in this film.
Yeah, so they've gone out to investigate. The shorter one's died. The taller one gives a roundhouse kick to a demon, knocks its head off. He makes his way back to the cabin, and he says, "Oh, I've made it." Like, made it to where? Back to the cabin?
He didn't even go in. Okay, you've made it, great, go in.
It's not like you've made it home. You've made it back to the cabin. Why are you so happy about that? And then he's killed.
Surprised and killed.
All
the friends open the door, and then Terry completely overreacts. Like, nah!
No, this is how you respond when your friend dies.
Yeah, Bonnie.
Yeah, this is how you respond. You're upset. You cry. You know, when you, I just.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Well, I mean, she's obviously so upset because we've now lost our 3 best characters.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're all gone far too early.
But now they start to care.
Yeah, well, not too much because Dal thinks this is the right time to try it on with Terry. Our ex is dead now, he's out of the way.
Yeah,
tries
no competition, let's go.
Turns out it's actually Demon Chuck in drag.
It is, yeah.
And
not a pretty sight.
No, and then it turns out it was a dream.
It's all just a dream.
But
just
then, they're like, okay, we've got rid of a few characters. We're only 40, 50 minutes in. Why don't we introduce some more? So George Michael turns up.
Yeah, so it's like these people have not been mentioned before. These two friends.
Yeah, no one says they're waiting for
They've
them.
not said, when's George Michael and a girl wearing a beret gonna turn up? It doesn't. So we just think that that's all the people that were meant to be there. We even thought that was a lot then.
Yeah.
You've killed off 3. So clearly somebody, the writer or the director said, do you know what, we need more kills in this film. We need more characters to bite the dust. So randomly these 2 people turn up.
By the name of... they're like, oh look, it's Willie and Raina. I'm like, oh, okay.
Who the fuck are Willie and Raina?
So... Raina is wearing a fancy beret. She looks absolutely amazing.
She looks wonderful.
I mean, we needed a new fashion icon, considering Bonnie was dead.
Yeah.
So she takes over Bonnie's fashion icon role, and Willie isn't too far behind himself, because he has a very fabulous earring on. To look just like George Michael.
He does, he's serving George.
So,
Okay, and the question is, how do they know how to get there?
Oh yeah, they must have went through that whole conversation with eyebrows. Yeah. It was like, you can't go there. It's just down the road. You can't go. But yeah, I've got in capital letters, why did he invite 8 friends? So the gang come up with a plan to fight back. And amongst all of this, planning, Willie and Raina, they don't ask any questions whatsoever.
No.
They're just like, okay, so we're fighting demons.
They
great.
don't say 2 words.
No. They don't need to be there. I'm glad they were, because, I mean, they look great. But they didn't need to be there.
They didn't.
So, Terry and Dal wander off, like, yeah, do you know what? We're going home. But why didn't you make that fucking decision when you first got there and the cabin started becoming a person?
Well, yeah.
Like, just, why now?
Like, we're going to walk.
Yeah, we're going to walk home.
Investigate. Yeah.
So, and that is that where you thought Dal was redeeming himself? Because they walked home?
No, it's the only song I really did love you.
Oh, yeah, wow. We're getting to that bit now. Terry gets possessed out of nowhere. And she kills him.
Also, why is it suddenly so dark in this scene?
Yeah, I know. Suddenly it's night time.
I don't know how long they've been walking for.
Well, suddenly
it's night time.
It's night time. They exchange I love yous and she kills him. Thank God.
Yeah, with what... They weren't fingernails. They look like finger sticks.
Yeah, she digs him into his forehead. Yeah. Decent kill. And the kills in this film aren't bad. Nothing exciting. I mean, the best one is obviously the roundhouse kick demon.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. That's up there, that is. So Dal gets killed, and then... Where are we?
The rest go to investigate.
Yes, they go to the barn, and there's a skeleton there with a what's that head? What was the head it had?
It's like a goat's head, isn't it?
Yeah. And
A skull. Oh, it's a goat's skull.
And there's a genuinely creepy imagery. Like, there's a good film to be found somewhere in here, but it's ruined by the execution and terrible dialogue and acting.
And just, for me, it's just a very confusing film.
Yeah, it has no structure.
So many questions.
It's so over. It was like they were making it up as they were going along.
Yeah, a little bit. I do find, and and weirdly edited as well, and it just. Yeah.
Well, I hope you didn't get too attached to William Rayner, because Rayner gets really aroused by this what they call a altar to the devil. She gets really aroused by it. Says it's really beautiful. Gets a little close, and then she gets tongued to death. The goat's head shoots out a tongue.
Yeah.
Wraps it around her neck and has a chew on her head, and
that's her
dead.
gone. That's her gone.
No more beret.
No more. Although she wasn't wearing a beret.
Yeah, she took a beret off to go to the barn. What a fucking waste.
Yeah, I don't know why she took that off. It's a real shame.
And then we get our favourite characters back. Chuck and Stacy appear as demons now. And they're saying all these quips, like they're trying to be Freddy Krueger. But you can't really understand what they're saying.
No.
It's so badly edited. I mean, the only thing I heard as to why I knew they were doing quips is because obviously Dow kept going on about good enough to eat when he first arrived. Chuck's got Dow's hand for some reason. And he's like, oh, Dow was good enough to eat. Ha ha!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really get what they were saying.
And then that's it. It was just a load of nonsense. But then Corey scares him off, pulls his demon knife out. Somehow George Michael gets killed?
Yeah, well, it's so they pull the dagger out and it scares off the two magicians.
Yeah, George Michael was like, "Oh my god, no, not Chuck and Stacy." He's like, "How the fuck did you even know them?"
Yeah. So he's sort of left behind, George, and they go back to the cabin and like, "Oh no, George, where's he gone?" And suddenly appears Beret Girl, hanging down from the doorway. She's upside down, holding George's head.
And we only know it's him because of the fucking earring.
Because of that earring. And so she gets stabbed with the dagger.
Yeah, they waste the dagger. Disappears.
Yeah, so we were a little confused as to whether the dagger would be for multi-use or not. But it's not. So she gets stabbed by the dagger. She reverts back to her normal self and says, "You killed me." And then disappears into
nice digital effect.
Yeah, another nice digital effect.
They start boarding up the cabin, and then as the demons start approaching it, we see one demon that looks like Shakin' Stevens dancing towards the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And as they get nearer to it, they just start getting digital effects to the chest, and they can't go near it.
Yeah.
And then they get a little cocky about this. Jack, Elaine and Corin like, "Ha ha, eat it, scumbags." Elaine's like, "Come and get us." Ha ha.
So you've just mentioned Corey.
Yeah.
We haven't actually mentioned Corey. Corey hasn't really been a figure in the film, has he?
Well, he has, because he's the main character.
Oh, not Corey. Who's the other one? Jack.
No, Jack's done fuck all, that's why.
Jack's done nothing.
He's just
I'm
Bonnie's
getting my
boyfriend.
names mixed up. It's Jack. So Jack's the one wearing glasses that was Bonnie's boyfriend.
He's the worst actor out of all of them.
And this is he just like fuck all apart from look slightly sad when Bonnie dies. And does absolutely nothing else.
He always looks sad. He always looks sad, and his acting is fucking terrible. He is the worst actor in the film.
He is, yeah.
So it's probably a good thing we didn't get much of him. Like, "Ha, eat it." And then somehow the spell that was keeping the demons away no longer works.
Yeah.
No reason why.
Apparently, so he goes, "Oh, my grandmother's old spell must have, been working."
Still works,
which makes sense in the kind of, in the sense that they had to lure them out of the cabin to kill them. Do you know?
But then why was the cabin possessed?
So the two magicians, so I don't know why the cabin was possessed, as in like stuff was getting chucked everywhere. But the two magicians got killed outside of the cabin.
Yeah. They all got killed outside.
George and Brit, yeah. And they were lured out, the two magicians. That's what I meant. So apparently it's this old spell that's still working after all this time. And then suddenly it's broken.
Yeah, the windows explode. And then we get about 20 minutes of Corey shooting people. And Elaine just running around him.
Oh, damn.
Doing nothing. Getting grabbed by demons in the process. That just goes absolutely nowhere. He just shoots people.
A long time of the demons getting shot as they try to enter the window.
Demon Chuck and Stacy come back, which we don't like because that's the shit version of them. Jack wanders off into the bedroom for some reason. Demon Terry gives us a jump scare. Jack stabs her in the hand of a hammer. The other end of a hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie makes a comeback, and Jack's actually upset this time. He's like, oh shit, she exists!
Yeah, so Bonnie comes back in her normal self, and she's like, help me, Jack, help me.
So we didn't really help you the first time.
No, not really.
But then this gives Jack a demon hand, for some reason.
Did he get scratched or
Not
bitten?
really,
or...
no. It just happens.
Suddenly he gets a demon hand.
So Corey's still shooting demons.
Yeah, the never-ending.
Elaine's like, do you know what?
Shots of them getting shot.
Elaine's the voice of reason in this, but she's like, this can't go on forever. I was like, yes, we fucking
Thank
know.
God.
It's like, I'm gonna go and see what I could do. So she goes into the bedroom, finds Jack, who's now all demonized.
He's fully demonized now.
Yeah, he's got his big ears. Because, yeah, all the demon, when you turn to a demon in this film, you get elf ears for some reason.
Yeah, and weird teeth.
And weird teeth. So, Demon Jack gets a bit horny, starts feeling Elaine's tits.
Yeah, I didn't really get why would they add this in?
Yeah, and it goes on for a while as well.
Yeah.
It really focuses on her boobs being fat up, and she doesn't really do anything about it. She's like, oh, okay.
There's no suggestion of any of the other demons being,
No.
sex offenders.
No, she's like, oh, well, she seemed really interested. She didn't stop him. And she's like, okay, I'm a bit bored now. It's not really going anywhere. She gets a demon knife out and stabs him in the eye. Wastes the last demon knife.
Yeah.
And then he turns into a toddler. Then he turns into a baby. And then he turns into a bird.
Yeah. So inconsistent.
It makes no sense. This
What
did not
happened to
happen.
these people?
Well, this didn't happen to Beret, did it?
No.
So, and then a mysterious voice gathers the demons like, come by.
Well, it looks like the end for Corey and Elaine.
Yeah, but the demons walk up to him and then they walk off screen.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing a fashion show, like
Yeah.
a demon fashion show, like,
They get to them, they're like, oh, bye.
no, see ya. It's like, oh, am I gonna kill you? No, not me.
No.
Then they all walk off screen, and then a voice starts gathering them all together, and we get the big reveal. Do you know what it is? It's fucking eyebrows. Now, the fact that Eyebrows is actually a priest, and summoning all these demons, and reveals that the whole reason that he's there to summon these demons is to lure in Corey and Elaine. Okay, then why the fuck was he telling them that he can't go to the cabin?
Yeah.
Why was he luring them away from it? He was like, okay, yeah, you got to get the fuck out of here. He was being that guy.
If they had taken his advice...
Yeah.
And just been like, okay, I'm sure you're right, we'll just go.
Then that's it. He wouldn't have been able to complete his ritual.
Then that's it, yeah.
It makes no sense. But and he says he needed all their friends as well. He needed all of them. He lured them all in, to turn them all into demons, to create his evil plan, whatever the fuck that was.
Is that what he was saying? I ain't gonna lie, this is where the editing really...
Yeah, he needed all of them.
Confused me, because I had no idea what he was saying.
He needed all of them, especially Elaine and Corey for some reason. He needed all of them, turn them into demons, and then do whatever. I don't know where he was going with it after that. But
He'd had a long time to do this.
So, all the demons gather around him. The shitty CGI merge them together to turn him into Super Priest. His eyebrows have been turned into some sort of vessels on his face. Bonnie... Why the fuck does Bonnie come back?
I don't know.
Bonnie just comes back in a normal form again. I'm not complaining. It's great to see her again, but she comes back to be killed. There's no.
So this like mega demon, because he's grown really big. He looks a bit like is it Nemesis from Resident Evil?
He does.
Yeah. But not as good.
He probably looks like the worst out of all of them. His face looks like they were like, shit, quickly, let's get the makeup together.
Yeah, and he's got weird patches of grey hair all over his body. But yeah, so I'm going to call him Mega Demon.
He's got hoofs as well.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah. So Mega Demon summons Bonnie and... like, she's like, no. And now Elaine starts caring about... Elaine's like, no, Bonnie! Like, finally starts caring.
She died earlier in the film, you didn't give a shit.
So, and then he sucks the life out of her. Essentially.
Turns her into an old lady.
Yeah, sort of turns into an old lady and then a skeleton. And, yeah, that's the end of Bonnie.
Again. For the third time. They run back into the cabin, start drawing out a pentagram.
Yeah, this mega demon's talking throughout the whole thing. I just don't know what he's saying.
Well, no, one thing I heard where he says, "Am I not beautiful?" Why are you asking that question?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Corey then turns... Now, this is where it fucking makes no sense at all. Corey turns himself into a bold demon.
Looks like Child Jason.
It does look like Jason as a child or something out of Star Trek with those fucking ears.
It does look like something out of Star Trek as well, actually. Do you know... No, I can't remember what they're called, but it's definitely something from Star Trek that he looks like.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He kicks Mega Priest in the balls for some reason. Lots of CGI lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it.
So I don't get how he turns into this alien-looking creature. They start doing a spell, which they could have done much earlier in the film. You know, the spell's there.
Do you know what this is a rip-off from?
What?
Nightbreed. This is exactly what happens at the end of Nightbreed. He turns himself into... Oh, shit, spoiler alert for Nightbreed. He turns himself into one of them. One of the creatures. Can you have a look what year Nightbreed was released? Was it the same year?
I thought Nightbreed was a little earlier.
No, because it's definitely 90s.
Oh, okay. So, do you think Nightbreed ripped this off?
No, I think this might have written Nightbreed off.
Nightbreed was 1990.
What month?
It was... Oh, I don't know.
Because it tells you at the bottom of IMDb.
Does it?
This was July.
This was September.
Ah, that's very interesting because... Yeah, this is that looked like a total rip-off from Nightbreed.
But then wasn't Nightbreed a novel before it was?
It was, so maybe they took it from that. But either way, it makes no sense in the context of this film. Corey gets CGI'd into an illusion where he sees all his friends back to life, but not George Michael and Beret.
They're not there, actually, are they?
Doesn't give a shit about that.
I genuinely feels like those two characters were just forced into the film.
Remember they're edited in later on?
Yeah, no, literally. And I genuinely feel, now that you've just mentioned that they weren't in that little dream sequence or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel that maybe they were just like...
Shot later.
We need to shoot a couple more deaths.
Yeah.
We've got this barn that we haven't used yet. Let's use that.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway because this is all a dream and everyone starts throwing up bread sauce like the start of the film. And then Corey decides he wants to be like Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street. He's like, do you know what? I'm not afraid of you. You're shit. And stuff like that to Mega Priest. A whole section of him telling him he's not afraid of him. We get Demon Elaine. No reason.
Oh, she's a demon now. Oh, no, she's not.
They're both demons now.
Oh, no, they're not. Oh, yes, they are.
He's like, Elaine, read the final spell. So she does that. She...
A really very fucking simple spell as well.
Oh, yeah.
That they could easily have said a long time ago.
Yeah, saved all their friends.
Yeah. If he knew it was there...
He was reading that diary the entire fucking... sequence of them sitting around a fire.
Before any of his friends died, he was reading that fucking diary.
Yeah.
So he could easily have just been, oh, it's a spalier. Shall we try it?
Well, somehow the sets Mega Priest on fire, makes the cabin explode again, but somehow Corey and Elaine are okay.
They're
fine. This transforms them back into their normal selves.
Yeah.
Everybody else, fucking George, our two action heroes, all of them, they're nowhere to be seen.
No.
They're not turning back into human beings.
So they're dead, but then... I don't know if it was Mega Demon tricks or something to make, but I don't get it.
No, because it makes no sense.
No.
They drive back to the petrol cafe. They could have just escaped and gone home.
Well, before this, Elaine takes the words right out of my mouth and says, "Is it really over?" Not quite.
No.
But we're getting there, thank fuck.
They go back to petrol cafe. And the lady that was obsessed with little Linda, she's there in the shadows. And she comes out, and somehow she knows Elaine's name.
Yeah.
An hour and 34 minutes into this film, the fucking waitress at this cafe knows Elaine's name more than her own boyfriend does. Because no one else does her name throughout the entire film.
No.
And she's like, "Is it all okay now, Elaine?" She walks out. They kill her with the book.
Yeah.
A big bolt of lightning shoots out of it. Kills her. They drive off. Demon Jess Glynn appears and shoots some lasers out of her eyes at the camera. And that's the end of the film.
Hooray, it's over. I don't get how that diary suddenly became a weapon.
I think that entire last 4 minutes of the film was also edited later on because that did not need to exist.
It didn't make any sense.
And it's an hour and 40 minutes. Why did it need to be an hour and 40 minutes?
No.
This is 1990. This is coming off the back of when horror films were between an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
There's so much unneeded shit.
It's all unneeded.
Oh, sad disappointment that I once loved that film.
And
I still say it's cheesy, it is entertaining, but it makes no sense.
I don't know, maybe it says more about me as a viewer, but I can't overlook a lot of the confusing aspects of the film. A lot of the inconsistencies with how the demons are killed, how the demons exist. A lot of the plot inconsistency. I can't overlook that. You can make a good, fun, horror film without having these stupid, inconsistent rules and plots, and you look at Demons. Look at Demons. That's not inconsistent. That's a fun film. And that's what this film was trying to be, I feel. And Evil Dead, that's a fun film to watch. But it's not stupid. And this film was stupid.
Yeah, I think it could benefit from a remake. Obviously made by us, where Bonnie and Beret are the lead characters.
I don't know. I mean, I said that as a joke earlier, because I don't think it needs remaking, because it's such a rip-off.
I mean, it kind of has. It's called Evil Dead and it was released in 2013.
Yeah. It's such a rip-off of other films that I don't think it needs remaking. Just watch the, better films that it ripped off.
Yeah.
Just watch them.
Well, that was Demon Wind. I give it a 2 out of 5. What do you give it?
I give it a 1 out of 5.
So, not half.
Not half, no. I gave, in terms of out of 10, I did give it 2. Because...
because of the beret?
No, because a demon gets her head kicked off with a roundhouse kick, and that's always quite fun, so...
Well,
why didn't they have more of that?
I know.
Why didn't they have more of that?
That entire sequence was basically what the trailer on the Horror Channel consisted of.
Because
and that's why I was so sold.
There's a long time before any of it really kicks off.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But until you see a fucking demon properly within, Corey's story, you see them back in the day, But when it really kicks off at the cabin, you're like 40 minutes into it, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is very inconsistent. It's very messy, but it's entertaining as hell.
It's very inconsistent.
It needs to be seen at least once in your lifetime.
And it's not entertaining.
You need to see it.
Like you're going through hell.
So usually we would see you same time, same place next week, but we have a bonus episode for you this Friday. So it's Friday the 13th, and we've came to a decision. Each Friday the 13th, for as long as it takes, we are going to cover a film from the Friday the 13th franchise.
Yes.
So obviously starting out with 1980s original this week on Friday. We're finally going to be talking about a good film again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But this is like a very, very good blend of good and bad. There's going to be a lot for us. It's not like Silence of the Lambs where we only had good things to talk about. There's going to be a good mixture in this.
Yeah. I feel Friday the 13th as a film maybe hasn't aged the best.
No.
But it's still, Godfather to the slasher.
But the 80s slash
genre.
films.
Absolutely. There's no way of denying its influence and the fact that it is a fun film.
Yeah.
And I loved it when I was younger. It was one of the first real.
It was, I think it's the first film
I watched.
Yeah, it's the first one I watched.
But I think it would be good to get to really look into it and analyze it and yeah.
So yeah, we'll rate, review, and subscribe if you're listening to us on iTunes. Follow and like if you listen to us on anything else. Check us out on social media. Horror Cult Trash over on Instagram and Facebook. Horror Cult Trash on Twitter. I'm Gazmo205 on Instagram. GazCruise92 on Twitter.
I'm Chris Barker823 on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd.
Oh yeah, I'm Deadite Gaz92 on Letterboxd.
Don't forget Letterboxd.
Yes.
It's the only one I really post on anymore with any consistency.
Well, we will stay away from cafes with people with bushy eyebrows. And
stay away from this fucking film.
Watch this film. It's on Amazon Prime and YouTube. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye.